course it went off. Of course it did. Sorry about that. But anyway, he said, don't have fear. Don't go outside. He told us exactly what to do and what not to do. He told us what was out there, what was going to be out there, because he knew we would want to look. You know, when you hear stuff and it's going to repeat the angel of death going over Egypt during Passover with Moses. All the screams that they heard and those horrible things, and they had their door covered with the lamb's blood. It's that 3 days, that darkness. That's what it's going to be like. So he's like, you know, but don't go out there. There's nothing for you. That's not for you. That's not for you. Darkness isn't for us. Thessalonians. Okay, 1 Thessalonians, what for? Read that. You know, we are children of the light. We're not children of the darkness. That goes all right along with this. It's multiple layers, okay? We're not children of the darkness. We belong to the light. Thessalonians. Put that in perspective of this. I'm telling you. So, anyway, he says, but he's telling us what to do. He goes, now, that's why I said, you know, these handrails. I see these handrails above us from heaven, you know, and you just got to stand firm and know, and you got to fight that fear, and you got to go to him because he'll be there. You got to go to him, go to him, go to him, go to him, go to him. But there's going to be a time lag, okay? 40, the 40, 40, 40 sequence, okay. The bride is going to be here for 40 minutes. The sleeping church, what do they? They have the 40 days. Remember the 40-day harvest we come back for? Okay, they're here 40 days. The other 40 days is for the tribulation. I mean, it's 40 months. The last 40, it's 40 minutes, 40 days, and then 40 months. And that's for the tribulation saints and the remnant. Got that today? I mean, just knew it. Just bam, all day long like that. Now, you know why? Okay, this is how sweet he is. The bride, that 40 minutes, okay, is I think what we're going to have to wait before he, you know, our panic. We're going to be panicked, but I think after that 40-minute mark is when the relief comes. You know, the angels come, he comes, whatever, however that happens. But for 40 minutes, we're going to be in a panic, or we're going to want to panic, okay? And I think that's for, there again, anything that's in there that needs to be dealt with at the last minute, whatever needs to come out, it's called dross, D-R-O-S-S. It's like the last dusting off, okay? He's shining us, so it'd be the last dusting off of it. But then the next 40 is the 40 days, and that is the harvest where we come back and help. But that's regarding the church. Then the last 40 is for the left behind, the tribulation saints. So he'd given us a parable too of a table that was on sale that was $420, but I had $300. Okay, so but it ended up where, so it went from $420 to $300, but the clerk ended up selling it for $210, and matter of fact, she offered it $210. Now, what is that? What is that? What does that mean? Got that today too. We're trying to figure it out, right? So we're thinking that's a date, maybe that's a date. So you count 210 days, or is that half, or is that, you know, April 20th, and it goes down to February 10th? Is that a date or whatever? That's what I believe it was per the Holy Spirit. Okay, the 420, I think that represents 42 months. Okay, 42 months. Great tribulation, right? Time period. But this is going to cut that time short. But, you know, then go down to 3 years. Oh, that'd be really good. You know, cutting it short to 3 years, from 3.5 to 3 years. But then, guess what? Because he's so great, so merciful, you know, and he cut it down to 21 months. So it went from 42 to 21. And I believe that's what that was. So remember I kept saying, again, I kept saying, I just can't see things, what we know is going to happen, going 7 years or even 3.5 years. I think we're way farther than what it is. So, but I just know it's coming and coming soon. So how can that play out? It can't. I'm that it's 42, and he could have cut it to 3 years, but he's going to be a little bit more merciful. He's going to cut it to 21 months. And I believe that, I don't know this for a fact. I'm going to pray on it again, but boy, he sure just gave it to me. I think that 42 goes down to 21 months, and I think that when everything starts, I think it'll be 21 months. Is what I think it'll be. It's crazy. I mean, I have not been sleeping. I get nothing done. Really? Are we nothing done. No present spot, no nothing, nothing. They made dinner, You have to understand, too, that what he has come to do. Now, I don't know why he picked who he picked. I don't know. I will tell you, we all were chasing the heart of God. But what he's been... You know how people worry? You know, they worry about... And first thing they say is, well, there's people that, have never even heard of him, that live in the jungles, or are even like Muslims who've just been taught that. And taught the wrong way. They just never knew him. They don't know him. That's not fair. He knows that. Totally knows that. He's like, does that sound like something I would do? He's got a plan, I'm telling you. He's going to give everybody a chance, okay? Even the ones that don't know him at all. That's not a chance, okay? Like the world thinks that they're not going to have. He's got this. He's got it. Okay? He is going to make sure, and he knows it. We get everything from him. Everything. Sense of humor, all of it. Compassion. So if we are aware of this, obviously he is. But he told us he's got it. People just, because of the lies of the enemy. The chaos, the confusion. So, anyway, I dry my hair. I take a shower, and I don't even dry my hair until it's after it's dry, because I gotta get back. But he's just so good. He's so good. He told us too that in the beginning, okay, when the word was first written, okay, when everything started to be recorded, all right, that the scribes of those days, well, very few people could really read, you know what I mean? It was before the language, the whole, could be read. But it was first, the words of the Bible were first written in pictures, drawings. That's how that was written out, in drawings, not Arab, not in words, not in Hebrew or Aramaic or Latin or Greek. The very first one was the hieroglyphics, and that's how they were recorded. And he said a scribe had very little room, so in order to tell the story, they had to use words that had multiple meanings, and the words that they had to use as few words as possible. So you imagine what was left out? But he said, but this was all known. This was all foreseen. And so whatever was removed was allowed by God, by the Father. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And so then you think about it. In Egypt and everything was hieroglyphics. Hello? Why wouldn't we think that? Now, again, the breadcrumbs. Totally understand why he kept saying, well, for a year I said, go to the beginning. We have to go to the origins. We have to go to the beginning. And I said that our words, what we hear, is different than what he says many, many times, because his words are the original. You have to go, it's the purity of the word. I'm talking words. It's just like when people hear the Lord and you write. Well, yeah, you're writing what you're hearing, but it's the purity of that word. It's the true meaning. It's the true definition. The true definition of that word, and we don't know them. We don't know them. We hear what is said, but that definition that He's given is different than the definition that we're speaking or that we're interpreting and that we're writing. I kept saying, got to go to the origins. It's just different. And there it is. There it is. Got that? There it is. So that's why. But they were first written in pictures, drawings. That's how they wrote them. Amazing. Isn't that amazing? That makes me cry. This is the download. We're getting close. If we... I just think we'll be gone by the end of the year. You know what? We may not. But I think we will be. If everything is going for the pattern. If not, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because everything, for the past 3 years, every teaching in January, there's been change. It's change. It's from heaven. It shows us the change. It's the transformed. And that we're in the glorified body. Everything is different. And why would that be if that wasn't the pattern that was being followed? And why, if we're His temple and the dedication, why wouldn't He follow a pattern to that? So I don't understand. I don't understand that. I understand though that now when He shows that we're the snow, okay, like walking in the snow, but yet we're changed. Well, the snow is because snow represents the cleansing of sin. Snow represents purity. You're as pure as the driven snow, right? Okay, when He talks about snow, the snow falling and snow, He's talking about it's the cleansing of sin. It's the cleansing of sin. So when we are changed, and in January and February, it always shows like walking on the snow and coming through the snow and the rain. Well, it's because now when we walk, we've been purified. We have the removal of sin. And I don't know if it's just for then that we're walking on He's showing us walking on the snow to show us where we're at, and why, and that we're sin free. And that's what that snow represents, okay? This is the removal of sin. Again. And so when he's showed us, when He showed what hair are being or said coming through the rain, or it's still raining out, okay? It's still raining out, or you're coming through the rain. That's the outpouring. That's the Holy Spirit outpouring. That's what rain represents, okay? It's the Holy Spirit. It's the outpouring. Okay, it's from a certain period time to a certain time. Okay, and I believe it's through those 40 days. So during that, whenever it's the cover up, put your cover on, your thing over your hat, put your gear on, whatever. It's because it's raining. Well, but that means that it's the outpouring of the Holy Spirit just during those 40 days. And that is when the rain happens. So, again, not for us. Not for us. It's the time and place now that I can see everything. And it's not for us. That snow and rain, when you come through the snow and rain, that's after that 40 days. It's after that 40 days. Or during it, because we can go back and forth. We'll have access to heaven. So if there's the snow and the rain, then our snow is because we're changed, but going through the rain is because it's the outpouring, and we're down here helping them get through. I don't even know if I'll I don't know. I just think that by the end of the year, we'll know. I really do. I think that it's a day that we are unaware, that we will not be ready, that we don't foresee, and we will be taken, we'll be caught off guard. But it's simultaneous. It's simultaneous, you know. So that's what I got. That's what I got. That's what I got right now. That's what I got right now. I don't want to, you know, and I don't want people to hear this and go do the Phoebe run. And you know when I talk about Phoebe run, I'm talking about Friends. You know, Phoebe when she runs through the park. If you've never seen that, it's a hoot. She just runs really free and doesn't care. And don't go. Don't. You know? Because he wants us to live normally up until the day he comes. Because he wants us to, that's who he wants us to be. You know, he wants us to be calm, and he wants us to be full of peace. And you can't panic. You can't. It's just the normal day. You understand? It's business as usual. It's whistle while you work. It's business as usual. Okay, but our hearts are going boo. You know, if you want to give that extra love, give that extra love. You know, if there's somebody that you know needs to know, then you tell them. But I told you, I haven't had time, but I've got to do a video for my family. I've got to do a video for my family, my brothers and sisters and that family. I totally believe with all my heart this is our last Christmas, if we make it to Christmas. If not, it might be December 31st, might be December 30th, but I do not think that we will make it into January of this. I don't believe it. I don't believe we will. I really don't. You know, again, could be totally wrong. Totally wrong. But what I've got this week, and it's all him just putting it all, you know, and the Lord so has been blessing me. But I totally, again, whatever I talk about, and especially when I talk about walking in faith and just living in it, you know, learn it, live it, love it, he makes me experience it again and again and again and again and again. So if I talk about standing in faith and being strong, he'll say, oh, well, I'm going to just remind you of that. So that way you're not a liar. So you can talk the talk and walk the walk. So I don't want to talk about that anymore, okay? So I hope everybody's got that. Because sure enough, if I talk about it twice a week, he makes me experience twice a week. He really does. It's my Jubilee year. And that's a whole nother thing. But so I knew I had to depend on the Lord all year long for everything. I knew I did. I had to depend on him for everything. Boy, that don't build your faith. That don't build your faith. You know? You're humbled, too. Very humbled. Oh, humbled, humbled, humbled. Do you know why you're humbled? And when you're humbled? That's the Lord humbles us all. All of his, and he humbles everyone. And he allows trials, because through your trials, through my trials, through our trials, through our traumas, tragedies, testing, all of it, through our time in the wilderness, we are humbled from our trials. And you know that is because, boy, we think we're somebody, but he says, well, I just don't think you are. Okay? You are to me, but you're not out there. You're just like them. Okay? So, and if you don't know this, come here. I'll show you. I'll show you. He shows you. So, but he humbles us for a reason. And if he humbles us because he loves us. Okay? He's had to, everything we've gone through in our life, please know this. not because he hates you, it's because he loves you that much. He spoke words. He spoke words of what a person had to stand like, had to be filled with, what a person had to do and how they had to be in order to get to the kingdom of heaven. Okay, Jesus is talking to the rich man in the New Testament, right? But when God speaks something, it's got to be fulfilled, because it's what you understand when he says that, and he says, "My word will not come back void." Okay, meaning he's not a liar. What he says has to happen. Okay, because he wouldn't be who he is. So even maybe if later on he says, "Well, kind of wish I didn't do that, and kind of wish maybe I'd have been a little lighter on that, but I already spoke it, so it's got to happen. It's got to happen because I spoke it, because it's a spoken word, and it cannot come back void." So now, can he shorten it? Can he lessen? Yes, he can. But will he change it? Nope. 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 And that's what people have to understand. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And in that, he cannot change what has been spoken. And all these events, everything going on, has already been spoken. And this is why God does not change things. Okay? But he's already made and spoken what is expected. But so he has to get us to that point of where we need to stand and how we need to be in order to go. So to get us there, if we're not seeing it, then he has to allow these trials and these testings. He has to allow all of us our time in the wilderness, okay? All of us. It's our reconciling. It's our aha moment. It's our, kind of flicking your bick. You know what I mean? It's putting our light upon us to make it shine. But it's teaching. It's everything that needs to be done. He is the potter. We are the clay. He is the artist. We are the canvas. Okay. So whatever the artist needs to draw, change, whatever he's going to do in order for his masterpiece, his priceless piece of art, and that's what we are to him, to be finished and exactly how he wants it and needs it to be, okay, to remain that priceless piece of art, he's got to do, okay? Same thing with the clay. He has to mold us, okay? And he has to work us, and he has to strengthen us on the wheel, our trials. So at the end, we are the vessel that he needs us to be in order to hold what we have to hold. Okay? No leaks, no cracks, nothing. So he has to send us through that fire, because what does a potter do? He from the clay, he sends it in the fire in the kiln, right? To harden it, to secure it, to refine it. But so at the end, and how many times does he send that to the fire? Okay, same until it gets strong and sturdy like he needs it, because it's a vessel, and we're going to hold. Look what we're going to hold. I mean, God's Holy Spirit. You understand? What Jesus has, we're going to have. People don't understand this. Do not understand it. We're just not going to be changed and go up. I mean, there's the bride. It's huge, 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 huge. And so all what he's had to do, how exhausted does he have to be? Really? I mean, how exhausted? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from my 22-year-old son Taylor. Okay? I'm exhausted from him from doing the same thing since he's been 2 years old. Okay? I mean, I don't know why I have to not yell at him, but firmly say to him, when are you going to put the trash out on your own? And remember, every Thursday night the trash goes out for Friday. You're 22 years old. When do I get to wake up Friday morning and not have to run out there to see if you've put it out, okay? And then most likely you haven't, right? Then I have to come in and say, Taylor, get the trash out. I go, when does that stop? It's the same thing. When does he quit? Excuse me, but when does he finally go to the bathroom, okay, without me having to go in there and see it everywhere? When is he going to finally learn to pee in the pot without hitting the wall? I mean, really, when does that happen? I'd like to know. I mean, I get so tired. I get so tired of that stuff, right? Can you imagine God? Oh. I don't know. Boy, can you imagine everything he's got to see and hear and what he's got to go through? I mean, watching us just hit the wall constantly hit the wall. You know, I was thinking about that today. I just don't know, because I'm like, when is he gonna? It's those kind of little things, and all of us mothers are like that. But I'm telling you what, I am so tired of going in that bathroom, and since he's been 2 years old, he can never hit it. I go, you're 22, and you still can't hit the toilet. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. So it's those things. So the Lord, He's got to make the change stick. Okay, He's got to make the change stick, and He does. So know what that is about. That is so great things. But that's why He allows them. He has to. So, and you just feel blessed about that. Feel blessed about